Hey, hey, happy Tuesday. I am Tina Cannon, and I am a spiritual entrepreneur, intuitive mother in business. And I come every day, Monday through Friday, around 12:30-ish to share tips and tools and resources on recently working on the 5-day ebook challenge. And I've been going for the next 3 days, different tips and tools to help you write your books based on the things that you experience, based on the things that you have a specialty in, based on your life. So before I do all of that, I would like to thank everybody for sharing and supporting and joining the newsletter, all of those things. Hey, Simple, how are you? Hey, Rolita, oh my God, I missed you guys. Just thank you for sharing. Thank you for guys for joining the newsletter. Thank you for joining the fan groups and all of those things. I appreciate you. Just want to really talk about the process. Hey, Michelle, the process. This morning I had a couple of different appointments with a few women in business, and the biggest concern was not feeling worthy. I can't describe it no other way. Just not feeling worthy because of foundational issues, because of upbringing, because of the people that are in their lives. And for me, the 5-book challenge was really created for me. When I'm writing, I usually get to a standstill or a point where I have writer's block or just life happens and I either put it down and forget about it, and then it's just there. It's another thing that I need to do, another list. So I wanted to create it for myself, and if I can create it simple enough for something for me to stick to and follow, then I figured that other women in business could do the same. If I can do it, I do truly believe that it's something that all people can do. If you want to change your life, if you want to do something positive, if you want to change your mindset. Thank you. I wear my hair wrapped. It helps me think. Sometimes when my hair is down, hey cousin. But sometimes when my hair is down, I can't think. I feel like my thoughts are everywhere. So I'll wrap my hair up to kind of enclose my energy. There's another way I could put it. But wearing head wraps for me, one, my locks are down my back, so it's hot. And I also do it because when I'm doing work or when I'm helping people, I don't want to pick up their energy, period. Sometimes they're not the most positive people, so I have to protect my energy. And writing books for me has been therapeutic. It helps me get through whatever the process. Hey, LaKendra, how's your mom and the babies? The baby's grown now. But writing books for me was a way that I could create my own paychecks. Like, that was important for me because going to different jobs, sometimes even in the interviews, they would ask me, well, do you have children? And is that going to keep you from working? So I would run into that, or it would be a situation where even with children, they would want me to work as if I was somebody that didn't have nothing else to do. So starting my own business was freedom for me. And when I think about it, I've always had a business. I was always the babysitter. I was always the dog walker. Like, I always had some type of hustle. And bringing that to where I am now, having a challenge, having something that I wanted to put out, I wanted to bring other people along so that if I can do it, to show other people that they can do it too. Most people write throughout your day. You're writing anyway. Hey, cousin. But you're writing out throughout your day. And even as you're making to-do lists, even as you're making like your grocery list, you can take those same skills and write books. Like, for me, that was it for me. Once I figured out I could take the stuff that I was naturally doing and create a nice little something for myself, then I wanted to be like, you know what? I wanted people that look like me, that had the same struggles as me, to show them the same thing. It's the same with my sewing. It's the same with everything I do. Once I learn, then I teach. So as I'm learning new tips, hey Omar, but as I'm learning new tips, new tools, new things I'm learning from coaching other people and working with different coaches. First of all, if you're in business and don't have a coach, hire one. It makes a difference. Having a coach helped me stay grounded. And she's a Pisces, so we worked well together, period. Air and water work well together. And sometimes when I may not be As an air sign, I'm always in the air. It's always the next best thing. It's always trying to move forward. So having a sensei or having a coach, hey Savira, having a coach that was like, okay, how are we moving? This is what you're good at. Having someone around you, even if you don't hire a coach, having someone around you that's positive energy, that gives you love, that gives you life. Because as a melanated person in America, we are ingrained with the DNA of our ancestors for the last 3 generations on your mother's side and your father's side. So whatever your great mother, grandma, great grandmother, whatever your great grandmother was going through, whether she was an alcoholic, whether she was a drug addict, whatever they was going through, you're going through. You carry their DNA. If you draw your blood, truth enough, if you draw your blood, you have the blood of your last 6 ancestors. Hey cousin, hey Stisha. But you have the blood of your ancestors. So we truly are our ancestors. Like if they draw your blood, you would have the same blood as your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, your great-grandmother, and your great-grandfather. So you are your ancestors. Now, taking the things that our pain points, the stuff that we're going through, some of this stuff is systematically put in place. I live in Mississippi. Thanks, Rolita. I live in Mississippi, and it's very racial here. And I was talking about undoing racism. Undoing racism is a workshop that talks about racism, and it helps people move it forward. And even in these days and time, people believe that it doesn't exist. So in tune, hey Reese, in tune with what I'm doing, I wanted to shed light on the issues that we're experiencing as women. The mental illness, the relationships, the foundational stuff, like all that stuff is stuff that we actually have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And learning how to write and helps me communicate, period. The one reason that people can't get along and can't get their business off the ground is because they don't know how to talk to people, period. How many people you know own multi-million-dollar businesses and their attitude is shit? Their attitude is poor. They don't know how to treat people. So taking people to a foundational level of writing, even with my seeds, I make sure they write every day. Because now they can understand where they are, how they're feeling, and the same thing. So if I can teach small people, then it's okay to start working on women. Now, first point. Yesterday, the challenge was to take 11 questions, whether it's frequently asked questions or should ask questions, surrounding the subject that you wanted to teach on or write your book on. So with those 11 asked questions, the reason why I started with that was because if you can come up with 11 questions that address a pain point or something that causes people to feel emotions, your book is already sold. Why? Because people are emotional. If you touch any emotion that they have, they're more likely to break bread with you and to spend energy with you. This is all energy, no matter who you come across, no matter who you meet and do business with. Sometimes you don't do business with people is because their energy or your energy may be off. So how do you address finding what type of book you should write? Well, look at the things that you like doing. Are you a hairstylist? Write how to do a bump and curl. Are you a painter? Write how to do sketches. Are you a fashion designer? Write how to thread your sewing machine. And with the 10 steps, it's enough to give you a circle around, let's say your subject, whatever your subject is, with the frequently asked questions, should ask questions, give you an outline for your book. So now that you have the outline, it should be who, what, where, when, and how. Who are you writing for? Who is your target market? Where do they shop? How much do they make? Where do they spend? What are their children interested in? And for me, I have to research everything. It's not just the women that I'm targeting, but it's specific women. I want women who are conscious, or when I say conscious, I don't mean like the stereotypical. I mean women who understand that there's something going on in the world and we're here to fix it. The problems that I'm seeing in the world shows me that that's why I'm here. So we take those things, and we take the target market, we take the title, coming up with the title for your book, taking those frequently asked questions and creating a title. What is your book about? And outlining it. That is the parts of your book that are most important is the cover, title, and your author bio. The cover does not have to be expensive. You can design it yourself, or you can pay somebody on Fiverr to do it for like $5, $10 if you want something that's really, really quick and simple. That's having someone else create it. But depending on your budget, when you start out a new project, you want to work it backwards. So you want to know if you're going to launch your book, where are you going to launch it? Who are you targeting? What age are they? What demographic? How much do they normally spend for knowledge? Because if you're writing an ebook, and the prices for ebook can be anywhere for free to like $2,000, and that's about the general median. If you're writing books, and it is hot, this hair, but it is taking those things and structuring it to come backwards. Most people start out the process and they get stuck, whether it's fear, whether it's self-esteem, whether it's outside sources. When you're writing a book, you have to cut all that bullshit out. If you don't like cussing, I'm sorry, not really, but if you're working on your books, you have to start working backwards, because you need to start with the end goal in mind. If you're wanting to speak, there's money there. If you're wanting to write, there's money there, but you're not doing it for the money, because you can sell cans on the side of the road for money. If you just really needed $10, $20, $200, you can get $5,000 from picking up cans and stuff. So take it. How do you come up with your title? What is something that's simple? And if you get to a point where you don't know how to come up with a title, how-tos are the #1 search thing on the internet. So if you post how to thread your eyebrows, how to outline a tattoo, those are things that can come about with your frequently asked questions. So sitting down, creating that list, looking at the outline and saying, where are you going with this? Who are you trying to reach? How much can you afford to spend on this? And who do you need to help you with certain things? Some things I don't even like, and I'm not even about to put my energy towards it, because that's not my area. Building a house, that ain't me. Killing bugs, that ain't me. I pass out all in my chest if I see rats, roaches, spiders, snakes, any of that creepy crawly stuff. I can't do it. My hair terrifies me. Once your locks get to a certain point where they start doing that little thing, girl, no, I can't. So what subject can you teach to someone else? Create list of needs in your business and hobbies once you're coming up with titles. And then each day I drop a writing prompt. So if you get stuck, there's always help. You have to know how to reach out to help for people. Like women, us, we don't like help. Like we don't like, if somebody asks you, I remember like just me, myself, going to the grocery store, I got 12 bags and all up my arm, groceries, because I'm used to doing everything by myself. From family to upbringing, I'm not used to somebody helping me and not wanting something or some other thing attached to it. So I had to learn that not everybody is out to get you. You take the things that you learned. The hardest lessons of your life will come from the first 5 years of your existence. Period. Like from conception to your first 5 years is the things that we're dealing with as we're moving into adulthood. Think about it. Was your mom and dad always fighting? And I ended up marrying my father. When I say marrying my father, I don't mean the actual man. I mean all the stuff that my mama complained about, I married that exact person. He was not in my life. So how do you marry somebody like somebody and it's in your DNA? It was what I saw. Growing up in Mississippi, you see all kinds of stuff. You see rape, you see molestation, you see murders, you see people being hung and drugged and all of those things. So we take those things that cause us pain, we take those things that we're learning in life, and we flip it into something that makes money to move us forward. If I write 5 books, that not only helps me, but that helps my family. Not only does it help my family, but it helps my community. So that's my thing. Ebooks are a simple way to drop your ideas. Like it used to be a real long barrier to entry. You had to go find a publisher. They had to tell you whether they liked your book. Then they had to say how much they was going to give you, if they gave you anything, and there's your advance and things like that. But an ebook, all you have to really do is sit down and figure out what you're doing, which was why I started with the frequently asked questions and the should ask questions, because that's your whole book. Hey, Franby. For your ebook, what are your size requirements? When you're writing an ebook, different platforms have different size requirements. There's one size for Kindle. There might be a difference of a size for other platforms. So as you're asking the frequently asked questions, know which ones and what size you need your document to be. Okay, I'm not doing it right now. Ebooks work because they're simple. And even no matter who you're pitching or who it is that you want to work with, if you have an ebook, you're an automatic, I don't know what it is about having something with your name on it, but once you have something with your name, you're automatically seen as an authority. Whether it's has grammatical errors or not. A person sees a title and a book and your name and picture, you're automatically an authority, and it opens up the doors for you to speak, to write books, to teach webinars, to do anything. The world is open to you to do whatever you want. All we got to do is sit down and write. Most people don't write unless it has something to do with bills or letters or something like that. But for your business, a lot of people around me are working jobs for less than $10 an hour, and they're over 30. What kind of family can you take care of if you only make $10 and rent is $1,600? You know? So what I wanted to do was share with people, okay, your author bio. Some people may not know. How many people know how to write an author bio? Drop some ones, let me know. If you've ever written an author bio or want help. So if you've ever written a bio, drop a 1. If you want help with your writing for an author bio, drop a 2. That way I know where people are. But even that, just knowing how to brag on yourself. Hey, Gary, knowing how to talk about yourself in a way that's uplifting. When you speak to most people and you hear them talk, they have a very negative mindset about what they can and cannot do. Hey, Nefer. Not sure if that was said right, but the effort was there, baby. The effort was there. But having something in your hand, oh, cool. And Michelle, you've written books, huh? Michelle Barker, I've been knowing her since I was stationed in Alaska. That's how long I've been knowing her. Kendra, I have been knowing her since I was staying in Wendell, like I was like 9, babysitting. So it's cool to actually see people when they actually grow up. Like the craziest thing for me was seeing people that I babysat with babies. Where did you come from? This baby. So your format for your ebook on different platforms, they may look and resize differently. So before you're launching those things, test it out. Test out. And see, I'm not doing an autobiography or anything like that. Like, I'm just dropping how-tos because my thing is, if I can teach somebody how to do something simply, then that gives me the energy boost to do the bigger things later. Like, I'll be dropping sewing books and all kinds of stuff. I just had to sit down and do it like that. All right, let's see what we got. List all the things that you would need to know to progress. So if you're writing a book, what do you need to know? What tools are you going to have to use? What groups do you need to be in? What support are you needing? Support is very important when you are a mother with children in business. And that's a lot right there. That's just period, a lot. So you need to have support. And by support, that does not mean that everybody that comes around you is somebody that's supposed to be around you. You need the highest and best energy around you, simply because you cannot create in lower vibrational energy. You can, but it does not operate as well as it does if you're in a loving, healthy, balanced. Your life is good. Your bread is good. And the reason why people do not make money is mindset. I teach attraction marketing. I teach it, but probably I don't think I can say it. I teach attraction marketing. Basically, it's a mindset. Anything that I think is already a living thing. So if I think I can't do shit, that's a living thing that's out there operating with me saying that I can't do it. So I'm thinking it, and my thoughts or thought forms are out there working. So if my thoughts is I can create and I am God, I'm creator. Why would I not create? Some of the reasons why we're stagnant is because we are not using our gifts. So having a journal, writing down what is your goal for the project. What's step 1? Knowing step 1 is half the battle, because once you sit down to write a book, period, and you have your frequently asked questions, you have your title, you have the things that you want. Now it's breaking it down in a step-by-step process so that someone that's about 5th grade, 6th grade can read it and follow it. If they can follow it, you're on the right path. Decide what you want to focus on. Have one subject and keep it simple. For writing, what is it that you're focusing on? Are you focusing on conception? Are you focusing on holistic herbs? Are you focusing on rebuilding the family structure? Because a lot of families are very dysfunctional. This book is just specifically for generating leads and brand awareness. So as you're building your brand, as you're building your business, what type of clients do you want to work with? What are the 100 companies, whether they are of your community or global. A lot of my clients are overseas, but it works because they have a different mindset about learning, I guess, so to speak. What is the overall thought for your book? Do you want your book to actually, are you going to give a giveaway? Are you going to, what is it? A tool that I use for answering questions or looking up what people want to know. I do polls and forum, and I also check Quora. Quora is where I go to research. I put in a subject and people just answer it. So if I want to know about hydrobirth in India, I post it and I sit back and I watch. I also join groups that are talking about that specific thing, and I place myself right before my book launches in those groups. So now I'm building, and it's not just to sell the book, it's to build with people who are used to spending for knowledge. Everybody don't pay for knowledge. Some people think that things should be free, but when you are in business and you are a mother, you cannot afford nothing for free at all, ever, because baby can't eat free. Light bill can't eat free. So, all right, guys. So, if you learned anything, if you are not my friend, be sure to click up above and add me for friend request, and to join the newsletter, send me a DM and let me know that you're interested in joining the 5-day challenge or the webinar, or what you're interested in, what questions you have. Let's see. I'll drop one more tip before I go. So, all right, target audience. So if you have not defined your target audience for your book, you are your client. You are your first client. So generally outline what it is that you do. What income bracket are you? What goals do you have? And then that gives you enough of a starting point to where you can actually take that frequently asked questions, take your general target market, and start building. You already have a title. And a lot of times when I'm writing, I write my title last, because as I'm writing, I may have something that comes up at the very end, and I may not like how to grow green grass. It might be something at the end that I add that is like, oh, totally different. So as you're writing, as you're learning to write for lead generation, and as you're working on your mindset, attraction, marketing, and those things, be easy with yourself. Like, no one is going to be your biggest supporter, and no one is going to be your biggest critic other than yourself. You are building a brand, you are building an empire, and you are the CEO of your life. So if you take the things that you want with no fear and just launch them, you're good, mama. Trust you. If I can do it with 2, and I know my cousin had 10 and she did it. I know people that, when I started seeing that people didn't have limbs and all of those things, I gave up my excuses. Now I can be honest enough to say some days I ain't feeling it. Some days I'm like, I have to put it down, but that's where, when you're writing, take breaks. It's 24 hours a day, 144,000 breaths a day. So out of those 144,000 breaths, you can take a good 5,000 breaths and you are right. We are our worst critics. But once we change our mindset to know that you are supported by the all, God, the supreme, however you wish to call it, but you are supported and loved. So anything that you launch will do well. Quick recap. Yesterday was the 11 frequently asked and should ask questions that should give you a pretty good starter for your outline for your book. You're working on your title and creating lists. Keep writing all this week. Make sure you have a journal. Write down how you're feeling. Write down what you're going through. Write down the problems that you're seeing. And then write down where you want to go. Some people are visual. So if you're visual and you're not into handwriting, you kind of have to marry the two, because there's something about the power of writing. It's magical. When you can sit down and write out a thing, you are spelling. You can create and cast all kinds of spells. And when I say spells, I mean you're spelling out your future. You're spelling out all the stuff that you know that needs to be undone. If you're in a relationship that you don't like, leave. You can do it. Like, I used to think that I was going to be young and I was going to get married and it was going to be on this white horse. It was going to ride off into the sunset, and that was going to be it. It was going to be buku babies and land and business. That didn't happen. So when we're working with people, we have to understand where they are and where you are. You attract who you are. And during these 5 days, notice what's around you, because it's a reflection. It is a reflection of who you are and where you are right now. If someone around you is messy and dirty and just dirty energy, that has something to do with you. Like, that person is just a mirror. It's truly a mirror of who you are. So if all the people around you, even if you have on your suit and tie and your Sunday best and you hide it very well, but the people that are around you are low down, it says something about you. Now, you can't divorce your family, but you sure can long handle spoon their ass. I will long handle the shit out of my family if nothing takes me out of my peace. Hey, Kim. But nothing takes me out of my peace, period, at all, ever. If you can get to the point where you're solid and where you stand in your mindset and keep writing your future, you can manifest all kinds of stuff. You'd be amazed. Just for the next 3 days, notice your thoughts and what you're writing down and see how fast it's starting to come. This message, Who I Am, is strictly for black women, melanated women, Moorish women, however you want to cut it. Because the world tells us we're not good enough. The world tells us this, that, and the other. Oh, your lips, your eyes is not acceptable. But then society shows us in other cultures with the same things and they celebrate it. Now, when I had braids, you told me I was ghetto. Kylie Jenner got braids. She's the next fashion model. There's a misconception. So we have to change the view that we're seeing by what we're writing down and what we believe. Hey, Jovan. Hey, Malcolm. So I'm Tina. I'm a spiritual entrepreneur. Most people call me Titi. I'm always somebody's mama or auntie. I don't know how it happens that way, but most of my friends, I'm either they Titi or I'm in a mother-like role because somewhere a maternal figure or a woman or somebody that was in their life dropped the ball. And there's a lot of hurt people in the world. And if you're seeing the pain in the world and you're seeing the things that's wrong with the world, it's your job to write a vision and make it plain and create something that's beautiful for the next 3 generations. So I will see you guys tomorrow, 12:30-ish. And if you're not on the newsletter, drop it down below or DM me. If you want to join the 5-day challenge, I will most definitely support you because I feel like it's bigger than just me. And if we all are solid and maintained and mentally balanced, then we can change the world. And it doesn't have to take 3 generations. Peace and love, guys. Yes, indeed. Michelle long handle spoon that ass. I ain't got time. You know how I get down. Love y'all.